Hello and welcome to another video. I'm hoping this video is going to be quick and easy because the last few videos have been very complicated. The last one in fact took me 4 days to produce in total due to some editing problems and some shooting problems. So I'm hoping this one's going to be a little bit simpler. I've chosen a simple task today. I'm going to go through these mini discs which are surplus to requirements and I'm going to put them up on eBay. But before I do that I want to erase the contents of them. And as part of the erasing the contents of them, we might be able to see the problem that Sony created by putting a form of copy protection on mini discs that were recorded using the Sonic Stage software. Now I've got a new camera, and this looks green. I'm looking through the viewfinder on this new phone, the Google Pixel 7 Pro. And it looks orange for some reason, so let's see if I can adjust that. I've changed the player, that blue, I think it's something to do with that blue colour for that player that was affecting the colour balance. Yeah, look, I brought it in shot and everything looks sort of an orangey colour. So I get rid of it and it becomes more natural. So let's see if we can get this player and get this erasing some discs, and I'll have a little chat as I do it. So the reason I want to erase the discs is these are surplus to requirements. Somebody gave them to me, and unfortunately, and I don't need them anymore. I've got way more. I've got two large boxes, probably about 60 mini discs that I don't need anymore. Let me see if I can get this right. There we go. Excellent, so that works. Yeah, so I've just grabbed these as they were the most convenient to grab hold of. But what I need to learn to do is I need to learn how many discs I can put in a pack to make the postage, just to make the parcel or the package weigh very close to the maximum for that price of postage. So when I put them up on eBay, people get the most discs with the least postage costs, because eBay does actually charge their fees on the postage cost as well. And their fees are working out about 20%, and 18% for a typical small parcel now. The fees in total, including postage. So it's quite an expensive business selling through eBay. Okay, so to erase the disc, put the disc in. Obviously, press menu, go across on the toggles there, and select edit. Press enter and then go to erase, press enter again. I think that's erase track. Yeah, so that's erase track. I have to check the other one now. And then it adjusts the table of contents. Or rewrites it. Yeah, it's a blank disc now, so that was right. So these are quite nice discs. TDK MDRXG 74s. I'm going to take off all the labels before I sell them. And the reason I'm erasing them is they've got extracts from audiobooks on them, but not the full audiobook. So I want them blank before they go out onto eBay. I'm going to try and get a complete set, so they're the same disc, because they can have a different colour in there, these ones I've noticed. So I need the same disc and the same index card. See, that's got a different index card. So I think some of these index cards were for either a different model or a different length. Anyway, I'm just going to erase them all. They've all got snippets, not whole audiobooks, but snippets of audiobooks. So it's busy just reading the table of contents, and we want to edit. We want to erase, and you can erase I think that's a single track, a folder, or the disc. But most of these have got only one track on there anyway. And when you press enter, it doesn't actually erase the data off the disc. What it does do is it rewrites the table of contents to say that there's no content on there. So I might just go through and do them all. But what I'm hoping to find, which I don't think I will on this set of discs, is a TR Protect error. And the TR Protect error was where you'd taken a CD, put it into your computer and used the NetMD function with a USB cable to essentially copy the CD to the Minidisc. And if you did that using Sonic Stage, you could only do that 3 times with a CD. Then it wouldn't copy the same CD, I think it was 3 times, it wouldn't copy the same CD to any more Minidiscs, to prevent you from copying CDs to lots of Minidiscs and then selling the Minidiscs on back in the day where Minidiscs were popular. Now, the way that affects the discs is if you sell a disc which has been recorded using Sonic Stage from a CD, the person who gets the Minidisc might put it in an NetMD player like this, try to erase it, and it will come up with an error, TR Protect, which means Track Protect. And what that was for was you couldn't actually erase those Minidiscs unless you erase them through Sonic Stage. If you put them into your computer, attach them to your computer and try to erase it through Sonic Stage, it would then reduce that counter from say three recordings or 3 Minidiscs recorded to 2, and then you could burn it again to another Minidisc. So it was a way to make sure that you didn't record to too many Minidiscs, and also that you didn't accidentally erase one of the discs that counted towards your limit of three copies. So if you've got a NetMD player and you try to erase one of those discs, you get the TR Protect error and you can't erase it. You need a different type of Minidisc player, an earlier one or a deck, which is compatible to erase them. So I don't think we're going to have that problem today, but if we do, I'll illustrate that. I'll press play again, so there we go. So stop that, edit, erase, and then go across to the disc. So we've got a single track there, erase a single track, erase a folder, because you can put multiple tracks into folders, or erase the entire disc, and that's what we're going to do now. It does take a minute. There we go, that's now a blank disc. So I'm going to try and do that and talk at the same time and give you a bit of a channel update. I've been quite busy sort of behind the scenes on the channel because thanks to all of you lovely subscribers, we reached over 1,000 subscribers and over 4,000 watch hours in the last year. And that has allowed me to apply to YouTube to become a member of the YouTube Partner Program, which means I can get paid a proportion of the ad revenue that YouTube generates on my videos. So they show ads on the videos anyway, and up until now they've kept all the revenue from those adverts, but now I get a proportion of it, and I think we're about halfway through the month. Let's see if I can have a look without giving any personal data away. Yeah, so this is YouTube Studio. So we got 1,029 subscribers, thank you very much. 7,900 views in the last 28 days. 564 watch hours. We're up 37 subscribers this month. And about halfway through my first month, I've got an estimated revenue to come of £14.99, which is worth roughly the same in dollars, unfortunately now. But I'd estimated I was going to get somewhere between £20 and £25, and it looks like I might be getting up to £30 a month for all of the videos I shoot, which isn't a lot because I've been doing 2 videos a month two videos a week most months. But I think I'm going to have to reduce that down because cost of living is going up, and when I shoot and edit the videos, most of the time it is daytime in work hours, and I'm self-employed, so I've been taking time off of work to create the videos, and I need to work a bit harder now because of the cost of living going up. But anyway, that's income that's coming from YouTube. Is as it grows, I'm going to treat that as a payment towards the time I'm spending in making the videos. And also I've managed to set myself up a Patreon page. So for those who don't know, Patreon is a way where you can make a contribution through patreon.com, I think it is. There's a link in the description box. So you can make a payment towards, basically pay me. Patreon take their cut, send the rest to me, and then that also pays me. So for those who have the money and the inclination to try and support the videos that I make, you can do so through Patreon. And literally about an hour before I was due to get ready to make this video, I received my first Patreon subscription, my first Patreon pledge. So let me get the details of that and I'll thank him in this video. So his name is Beto, or Beto I suppose, B-E-T-O. So thanks Beto, I've sent you a message on Patreon. But you are our first Patreon subscriber and you've joined, there are tiers on Patreon. I've set up 2 tiers, one I call the Coffee Club and one I call the VIPs. There are 2 different levels of payment you can make, and he's joined the Coffee Club. So what I'm hoping for is we can get a few people in there, because the community pages on Patreon are quite interesting. Everyone can post in the community pages. And over on Tech Moans, I subscribe to Tech Moans Patreon, what do we call it, account I suppose. And the community over on there is really quite good. People post their retro tech and stuff like that, and it's quite interesting, and they can have a chat about videos. So I'm hoping if I do get any creators who also want to become patrons of my channel, I'd like to do a creator corner where we talk about the logistics of producing these videos, because I've just made it up as I go along, as I do with everything else. I'm not doing a very good job at editing. There we go. Let's focus on this. Let's focus, please, camera. Yeah, the logistics of shooting and editing and posting your videos. Oh, it doesn't like this today, does it? I'd like to have a creators corner where we can all, those who make YouTube videos, are able to have a little chat in that creators corner and share tips. And basically I think we're probably all doing it similar way, especially the small YouTubers like me, because I've watched a few videos about behind the scenes stuff from some other channels, and it seems to be about the same, but there's no manual that tells you how to do this. So you don't have to. All the videos I make currently are going to go up on YouTube, but generally I'll shoot the videos on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, try to get them edited, and then get them up for Friday night at the latest, maybe the Wednesday night, but maybe Friday night at the latest. And then they go live on a Saturday morning. I found it's a good time for them to be to go live, Saturday morning UK time. But I'm not committing myself to that, because this is just a hobby for me, and I have family and work commitments as well. But that's what I'm going to try and do, at least one video a week. Kind of a commitment, that, isn't it? But anyway, as soon as they're ready, as soon as they've shot and I've edited them, and the editing takes way longer than the act of actually shooting the videos, as soon as they're edited, I then can upload them and put the chapter markers on and the tags and everything for the YouTube video, and do the thumbnail and what have you. And then they'll go up on YouTube as private, and those links will then get shared on Patreon. There'll be a post that I'll make on Patreon, and the Patreon subscribers will then be able to get access to that video ahead of the release to the public. So let's have a go. But don't subscribe to my Patreon feed thinking that you will get early access to all videos, because it very much depends on how complicated it is to edit them and the time constraints I'm under. But I will try and get them. They don't go up on a Saturday morning. Basically, I want to wake up on a Saturday morning knowing that my video's gone live. So usually if there's going to be one on a Saturday morning, it would have been put up there no later than the Friday night usually. So if If you wanted to, there's a link in the description box to my Patreon page. Only do so if you can afford to do so, because cost of living is going up. But if you appreciate the work I put in getting these videos out, and you want to buy me the equivalent of a coffee from a vending machine here, then you can join the first tier and become a coffee club member. But in any case, I hope you're still enjoying the videos. So I think you got the message on this. These minis are all going to erase quite well. So let's stop that for the time being and tell you what's going on with this. Actually, I've got two to do. The plan is to sell these in batches where they fit into a small parcel like this, where the postage might be quite cheap, or an envelope or a padded envelope. This is an A4 foolscap size envelope. Oh, that's A3. No, I think it's an A4 one. To keep the postage costs low and then sell them on eBay, because although I've got the Patreon feed and the income from YouTube, which is going to help pay for my time, what I want to do is sell some of these surplus mini discs so I can buy some more mini discs or players or cassettes or whatever they might be, and that's what the money from the eBay sales is earmarked for, because I've got more stuff than I need. You know, I don't think I ever need to buy another mini disc player. I've got 19 working mini disc players and boxes and boxes of mini discs, so I need never buy anything else. But it's quite interesting, don't you think? It's quite interesting to buy these things. So if I can sell some and raise some cash, then I can buy some. There's actually a batch of 40 mini discs up on eBay at the moment, which I'm quite interested in, relatively cheap. About 30 of them are quite boring and run-of-the-mill mini discs, but there's about 10 which are more interesting ones. But do I really need to be spending that money when I've got so many mini discs already and so little space to store them? I've literally run out of space to put the ones I buy, so some have got to go. And I did plan ages ago, you might remember, I said it's one in, one out. So if I buy something, something else has got to go. One or two things has got to go for every one thing I buy. And I haven't kept track of that, but I'm going to go back and recap on all those purchases since then. I had an interesting sale I did of a stereo unit, which never got shown. The unit never got shown on the channel because it was too big, basically. I was going to put it up on eBay, but it was a sort of like it wasn't a micro system and it wasn't a full-size system, but it was a sort of mid-size, a Midi system basically. And it would have been, and it had 3 speakers, a bass bin and two side speakers, and it was going to be too big and bulky to sell on eBay. So I took it down to my local cash converters. I'd inquired beforehand and said, how much do you reckon I'll get? I took a photo of it on the phone. They said, oh, somewhere between 10 and 40 quid. And I cleaned it up a bit and I took it down, and he said, oh yeah, I'll give you 40 quid for it. And then he plugged it in and played it, and it was a 5 CD multi-changer with 2 cassette decks, and he was so impressed with the sound quality he actually gave me 45 quid for it. So that's what's going in the pot to help pay for some more bits and pieces. So that was a very long ramble because I can't concentrate on erasing discs and talking to you at the same time. So hopefully that's given you something to watch on a Saturday morning if I can get it up in time. Let me rephrase that. That's going to give you something to watch on a Saturday morning when I wake up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.